Hello, double feature today. Reason why is if you're interested in one of these knives, you're probably interested in both of them. Both of these knives are designed by Elijah Isham. The top is the Elijah Isham Blackstar, built by We Knife Company, and the bottom is the Elijah Isham Reticulan, built by Best Tech Knives. So we're going to start off with the Blackstar. So both of these are my knives. I paid for them myself, and it's unbiased. So you get the standard We Knives black case. Depending on who they're making the knives with in their collaborations, they'll do some stamping. Sometimes there will be hankies in there. This guy is just empty. And inside you get this wee little guy. So this is the black G10 with carbon fiber inlay. It also comes in a green G10 with black carbon fiber inlay. They are both M390 steel, if you get green or black. And there's a handsome little imprint on the blade stock there. So there's a lanyard hole there. Right side only pocket clip, very nicely sculpted following the lines. And it's a right hand only, so there's a little bit of a cutout in the G10 to accept the pocket clip. So the other neat thing about this knife is that it's a flip joint. It's a slip joint top flipper. So this knife is a homage knife to the late David Bowie. That's the name for the Blackstar. That's David Bowie's last album title. So inside you can see that the slip joint mechanism is held by the detent ball, operates as both the detent for the flip, and it's also the very light lock for the slip joint action. The nice other design here is that they put a pin going through the blade stock, and that acts as your over travel stop when opening. It'll make contact with the G10, and it's also the same thing to prevent over travel when closing. So that way that the internal for the screw and the body of the knife will never be contacted by the blade stock. It's a very light slip joint. It's probably on a scale of 10 with a Victorinox being a 5. This is probably a 4. There's no danger of this guy opening up accidentally. It's a very good detent on this, but there is a technique to this. It's not like the flipper has usually on the rear and you can either push button or light switch it. This guy has a different action, so you kind of have to nest it in your palm and then do a 45 light switch. And it's very easy to misfire this guy, but when you get the technique down, it fires pretty well. So you just kind of have your finger here. There's very generous jimping, very grippy jimping on the top of that flipper, and it helps you get a positive lock and flip the knife. So for fit finish, this guy is a G10 body running on phosphate bronze washers and a M390 blade. And the only issue I have with this knife, and this isn't just my knife, but talking to some forum mates, other people with this knife have the same machining oopsie daisy here. It looks like the two scales were made in two pieces and they came together. They didn't mate up quite right. So that is the Blackstar. And now we're going to pop over to the reticulan. If you don't know what a reticulan is, that's the big bug-eye aliens, the gray guys with the big black eyes. And this knife is quite a bit more handsome than those. So here's the warranty card. So this knife comes in multiple styles. There's an S35 VN. This is the Damasteel version. And they do note that it's a high carbon steel, so you're going to have to wipe it down with the included microfiber. And there's also a nice carry pouch. So this is quite a bit of nice includes. You also get a necker Kydex sheath to hold that with a chain and the knife. So as briefly mentioned, this is the Damasteel version. There's the Damasteel and there's a solid S35 VN version. It's a very crisp detent and the blade comes lightly oiled from the factory. It's a titanium body, frame lock, running on bearings. So let's get this guy flipping again. Very crisp. So this guy comes in multiple colors. So there's green, there's blue, there's gray, there's bronze, there's multiple. So this was procured through Lamnia.com. They carry the full line. And again, this is the Damasteel, and it appears to be a high carbon Damasteel per the warranty card. It says to oil this blade up. Very easy to unlock it. So this guy also has a sculpted pocket clip. Very nice attention to detail, how it follows the lines. Right hand only pocket clip as well. And he just did the same trick here with the stop pin. So there's no stop pin in the body. It's actually built into the blade as well. So some tricks shared between these knives. It's a very good trick. I like it quite a bit. So time for some size comparisons. So this is a Spyderco Delica. And here is a Kershaw Leek. So trying to get these guys pivot to pivot as best I can to show that the Elijah Isham knives are a very welcome departure from the trend of large knives. So these are the 3-inch kind of smaller carry EDC knives for the Kershaw Leek and the Delica. And these are even smaller, more of an office carry EDC knife. They're slicer only knives. They're not really meant for being a work knife. They're a light duty office slicer. And the M390 blade is very keen. I've carried this one for quite a bit. Very pleasant to use. This guy is minty fresh from the box. This is the first look at the knife for myself as well, so there's no usage on this guy. I don't have any opinions built on that. So getting a tape out as well. So if you want the exact measurements, feel free to look on the manufacturer websites, but just try and get all these lined up. So there it is, and then if you are American, there are the sizes for that as well. So yeah, the reticulan is a very nice knife. I do like that it has the, it's all the features you expect in a big knife. So there's the steel lock interface on the lock bar, the relief cuts for the lock bar to be very gentle price to open, sculpted titanium clip. It's a very full-featured knife, just tiny. Same thing with the blackstar. The blackstar is it's a neat new thing. So it's been done before, but this is the first time I've experienced it. So the whole flip joint, top flipper slip joint, it's new to me, and it's quite fun. So the disadvantage of this guy is the blackstar will get you around some carry laws for blade length and for locking, but it's a one-hand opening knife. So if you're in the UK, unfortunately, you're still out of luck because, well, you can open it with two hands. You can also very easily open it with one, either with your fingers or the nail necks using one hand. And then this guy basically gets you around size restrictions, and they're both very handsome blades. In an office environment, you wouldn't have anybody being terrified from these knives. They're quite nice. So that's the first look at both of these knives. If you have any questions or comments, please put them in the feedback and I will get to them as best I can. So thanks much. Have a good day.